So this year in particular, I ran for the president of my undergrad society, and that was a big thing for me. I had a whole month of election, and I ran, and I was the most elected. So I had the most number of votes ever received in a CUS presidential election in its history, and I think I'm the first international student president in the last like 20 years or so, recent history. So, and it's quite interesting, right? For example, in the case of CUS president, the position I hold right now, you're basically managing an organization that has a budget of 1.2 million. That's a lot of money, and it's quite hierarchical in nature, right? So I am the president, and then you have 6 executives under me, and then they have their own teams, and then they have their own teams. So you learn so much in this role. I've been learning so much. Like, I've been using Slack, I've been setting up meetings. So like you learn things such as how to run an effective event, uh, how to have hard conversations with your team. You learn about event safety and risk mitigation. So a lot of things that how to communicate, how to give feedback to your team. So a lot of things I've learned being part of clubs and services, just like involvement opportunities in general, that have made my UBC experience so much more memorable.
Fascinating. So I think just the fact that you could, not just about the budget, but learn so much by doing these things, it's like having a full-time job, it seems. So that's one of the reasons why you chose to extend your academic tenure, I think. In terms of taking these skills forward, where do you see you could apply these? It could be applied obviously in jobs, but what kind of jobs, what industries are you looking at?
I'm really interested in sports management, like sports marketing, event management, event marketing. So currently I work, it's my second year returning, working at the Vancouver Whitecaps. That's the soccer team. I would say football, but then they call it soccer there, so I'm just used to calling it soccer. That's the soccer team from Vancouver, and it's part of the MLS, so the Major League Soccer. That's in North America, North American Soccer League. And this year, it's my second year returning, but unfortunately, right now the season is not happening because of COVID. But then I hopefully plan to work there for I plan to work there part time while I'm still in university, and then once I graduate, I hope to work there full time. Another company I'm really interested in is EA Sports. EA Sports have their office in Vancouver. I hope, like, it's my dream to like land an internship there, like next summer or the summer after that, and then that's also one company I really want to work for. And like the thing is, I eventually want to work in like something that I really enjoy. So like sports is something I really enjoy. EA Sports is like a company I've grown up playing, right? The games they've built, and then soccer is something I love, and it's more of like a job where you travel a lot, you set up events, you coordinate marketing, as opposed to like a desktop. So I really enjoy that, and I hopefully want to work in sports marketing or sports management. Yeah.
Great. I think there are students who are athletes and also want to study business, and they come over to discuss sports management. And to be honest, when you look at course offerings, there aren't many universities that offer that, or let's say selective universities that offer sports management. So these internships, that experiences that you've had, but did you combine some of your coursework knowledge or other chose courses to help you with the idea of focusing on sports management or do projects, etc.?
We don't have particular courses for sports management in the business school I study in, but there's definitely courses you can take in marketing, which can help you excel in your job or like work at a sports company. And that's another thing I really enjoy at like universities abroad at UBC, that you have so many courses you can choose from.
Great. And what about the Sauder school? That's what it's pronounced as?
Sauder school, yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to describe the experience and say differentiate it from a College of Arts and Science experience, what's a day in the life of a UBC Sauder school student like? A very exciting day, let's just say.
Okay. Let's say you have first class at 9 a.m. and then your class, it's usually a 1.5 hour class. It ends there. A lot of Sauder classes are in the same building. So the fact, I think what separates Sauder from other faculties in UBC, it's like more tight knit. So you get to know your entire school more or less. There's lots of group work. That's something I really enjoy as well. So I think another big learning in university is working with different kind of people. That's kind of like something you will do throughout your life, right? So I think that's also a skill that people learn, working in group setting, working with people from all across the world. So a typical day would involve a couple of classes, 3 classes, being part of clubs, so their meetings, and then meeting with your group mates, working on presentations. If someone is working on a case competition, they'll work with their team on that. So yeah, that's about it.
Great. Yeah. So now let's switch gears and talk about you as a person.
Sure.
I can already think of the strengths, but my question is, I want to hear you say, what are the 3 words that describe your strengths?
Whew. Okay, give me like 5 seconds to think about it. Three strengths. I would say very kind-hearted. I know it's a very cliche word, but like very kind-hearted, very personable, and then very determined, I guess. I think one thing that has really helped me set apart in my time at UBC is like how connected I am with everyone, like school, like not just Sauder, but also like UBC. And I've been helping a lot. Like I think I was gonna like fill you in about that as well. Like I really love working with students, and this is what I've been doing in my time at Sauder as well. I really love working with people. That's why I think a lot of my time at UBC has revolved around involvements. I just love working with people, and those are the 3 words I would say that describe me.
Fascinating. But with COVID and not knowing when it'll be back to normal, what do you think UBC, and given that you have privy to more information perhaps as a student leader, what is administration thinking? How do you think education can be reimagined?
So a good thing, I know a lot of universities are still debating regarding their fall term plans. With UBC, they've already decided. So term 1 is going to be online fully. And students, international students, they don't need to travel to Canada to be able to like take courses. And with one thing that I really like about UBC is the lectures are not live. So like, if a lecture is happening at 2 p.m. in Canada, then students in India, Indonesia, Singapore, China wouldn't need to like be live in their countries at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. So lectures are recorded, and then so yeah, all the programs are online for term 1. In regards to term 2, things are to proceed in person, but of course, like we don't know what's going to happen with COVID, if there's a second wave. There's so much uncertainty right now. Hopefully we will be able to get back in person in term 2, but then there could still be restrictions in orientation planning, event restrictions. So maybe there's a 250% capacity or something at events. But UBC in particular is still doing a lot of efforts in like planning orientation programs, or like planning out for the first term. They've been pretty proactive. Like we get a weekly email from our president giving us an update, and that's something that I really enjoy. The leadership is really good because in these times of uncertainty, what we really need now is communication. So being able to like get a broadcast email from the president, like telling students, what the university is working on, is pretty great.